Hello, fourth graders, and welcome to Unit 4, Session 3.1. Today, we're going to be looking at introducing making right angles, and I'm also going to be giving you instructions for an activity that you're going to be doing to make right angles. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, I want us to take a peek at this square. Okay. This square, and I would encourage you to go ahead and get out your power polygons, because that is what we're going to be using during today's lesson. Okay, so if you need to pause the video right now to go and get it, then please do so. Alright, so let's take a peek at this square. What are the size of the angles in this square? So if we're looking at the angles, what are the size of this angle? What is the size of this angle, and this angle of the square? You may know that you can use a corner sheet of a piece of paper to show the angles are equal to the corner or the angles of this square. You can lay a piece of paper on top of your power polygon and notice that the corner piece of paper is the exact same angle as the corner of the square. And we call that angle as a 90-degree angle, or you may have heard it as a right angle. When we are measuring the size of an angle in any polygon like this square, we are looking at two sides of the shape where they come together and they meet in a vertex. So two sides of a shape and where they come together and meet right there in the vertex. And we're measuring the amount of turn or rotation from the side to another side. In the last session, you used your pencils to show the rotation, and we can use an arrow to represent the rotation between two sides of a square. So let's trace this polygon. Let's trace this polygon. Here we go. Alright, so I have traced my polygon, my square. Okay. Now, I'm going to put what we call the box right here. And when you see a box right in the angle of a polygon, then we know that that stands for 90 degrees, or a right angle. The arrow is used to show any angle. So we have an angle here, we have an angle here, an angle here, and an angle here. Now, just as a reminder, what does this box mean? If you said that it means that this angle measures 90 degrees or it's a right angle, then nice job. That's exactly right. In our last few sessions, you were placing different polygons next to each other to see what kinds of new polygons that you could make. Today, you're going to do something very similar to that, but instead of focusing on the shape, you are going to be paying attention to the actual angle. And remember, the angle are the two sides that come together in a vertex. Take a look at your polygon pieces. I'll give you a moment. Go ahead and lay out your polygon pieces. I want to see if you can find two polygons that when you put them together, they make a right angle. I'll give you a moment. Go ahead and pause your video now and work on that, and then we'll come back together to take a peek at what you've got. Welcome back, fourth graders. By this time, you have had a chance to take some of your polygons and put two of them together to make a right angle. And here are just some examples that I've come up with. I've taken two of our polygon F's and I've put them together. And I have a right angle here, I have a right angle here, here, and here. And you notice that a right angle, or a 90-degree angle, makes the capital letter L. It makes a forward, upside down, backwards L, but it has a straight line going left to right and a straight line going up and down. I've also taken the polygons N and L and notice my right angle that I was able to create right here. right here is another right angle. And you may have had different ones that you found. These are just some examples that I have. Now, I see several different examples that we can make with the two polygons together to make a 90-degree angle. But what kinds of angles are the two polygons that you put together to make the 90 degrees? What are the names of these smaller type of angles right here that you can put together to make a 90-degree angle? Do you remember the name? Your teacher may have said something to you like a cute little baby. That's what I tell my students. And when I'm talking about a cute, I'm talking about angles that measure less than 90 degrees. Acute. And these are angles that measure less than 90 degrees. So these angles are smaller than 90 degrees. And like I said, I call them cute little angles because when we think about a cute little baby, they're little and they're small. Well, these angles are little and small as well. Okay, so these are called acute angles. All right. Later on, you're going to be talking about angles that measure greater than 90 degrees. And those type of angles are called obtuse. Obtuse. And these are angles that measure greater than 90 degrees. And how I tell my students is if you go to the doctor and you're going for your yearly physical and you weigh too much than what you really should weigh for your size and your height, they may say that you are obese, which means you need to lose a few pounds. And so when I think of obese, I think of it being overweight. I've got to lose weight. And so I associate the word obese with the word obtuse. They kind of sound the same. So I know that obtuse is an angle that measures greater than 90 degrees. And angles that measure right at 90 degrees are called 90-degree angles, or, as you learned today, a right angle. A right angle. Now, I want you to pause the video. I want you to get your math workbook, and I want you to go ahead and open up into your student activity math workbook to page 209. You're also going to need your power polygons, and go ahead and get a pencil as well. And then once you've gotten these items, go ahead and press play again back on the video. Welcome back, 4th graders. All right, we are in our student activity math workbook on page 209, and I told you to go ahead and have your power polygons and a pencil. Okay? You're going to be working with a partner or either by yourself, and you're going to find on this page more ways that you can make 90-degree angles. But you're going to be using some of your smaller polygons to be doing this. You're going to see whether you can find an example of more than 2 angles or more than 2 polygons that will fit into the 90-degree angle. You also want to be thinking about how you could use those smaller angles to figure out the measures of each of the angles that you're using to make a 90-degree or right angle. So here is an example. I am taking 3 of our O polygons, and I'm going to use right here this corner, the right angle, and I'm going to place them in this corner so that it makes a 90-degree angle. All right, you see how I've done that? I've used 3 of our smaller polygons. I've put them together right here on our right angle or our 90-degree angle. Now, if I've used 3 of the same angles, and I know that all 3 of these together are going to equal 90 degrees, how can I figure out what each individual angle equals? What does that tell you about the size of each of these angles. You be thinking about that, and when we come back together, we're going to explore this a little bit more. All right, see you soon. Bye-bye for now.